welcome to BananaCorn, a show where we open about our experiences as gals in our 20s, navigating this adult world in the hopes that it'll empower other people to navigate their lives.
Each month, we'll be focusing on a specific topic and basically talk about our own opinions and thoughts on life graduating university. And hopefully, it'll be interesting for you guys to keep listening and stay connected with us.
Guess what? Tea is ready to be served. Let's put out our international lens and get ready to spill the tea on life as three gals from three countries of different continents. America.
Yo, what up?
UAE.
Yeah, that's me.
And South Africa.
All right, I'm one of your co-hosts, Angela.
I'm Ha-En.
And I'm Cindy. Time to get comfy, get out your snacks, and let's dive in.
Yay! The intro is out of the way.
Like 3 tries.
First podcast was natural as we can be. So today's topic is going international. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we actually chose this topic because it's kind of no one actually knows us and no one knows our faces. So, when talking about this, I think we can kind of introduce ourselves and get to know your co-hosts because you're basically listening to 3 strangers talk about their lives,
Yeah. And how we got international. And actually I'm in China right now. I'm in Shanghai.
I'm also in Shanghai.
Yeah, so 2 of them are in Shanghai. I'm in Singapore.
Yes.
So that's
who wants to start? Who wants to start their mini life story, how they got international?
Ooh.
Okay. Cindy?
No.
Cindy, maybe?
Okay, sure. I'll go. So just like in an intro, I mentioned I was from South Africa. And so what is a South African girl doing in China right now? So the story is, I was born and I grew up in the beautiful land of South Africa in the city of gold known as Johannesburg. So I've been there probably all my life, from elementary, even smaller, kindergarten, nursery, whatever you call it, from that time all the way up to high school. I was in South Africa. I transferred schools to an international school in high school year. And then I heard about NYU, New York University, Shanghai.
Represent.
Yes, there was a campus. There was a campus in Shanghai, and Shanghai was always been my dream city. So I immediately yes, I want to go to this university in my dream city, and that's how I ended up being in China right now. And I also just recently graduated, but we have a story behind that as well.
I actually want to go next because we actually have a very weird connection that we didn't know. We have a mutual friend, and my friend actually came from my friend knew you, and then she came to Abu Dhabi. I was born in Korea, raised in Abu Dhabi in an American school where I've never been to America before. Everyone just says same. I am American. Anyways, I actually heard about NYU because NYU has a campus in Abu Dhabi and a lot of people were there. And my friends and my 선배님, so my seniors from school were going to NYU Abu Dhabi. And then I found out there was China, NYU Shanghai, and living in Abu Dhabi for more than 10 years was so boring that I just wanted to go and try Shanghai. Never been to China before. I don't know what got into me, to be honest, to file that application.
Hearing Han and Cindy's story, I feel like you guys got an early experience of being international, as you guys all went to an international school. And as for me, I grew up in a small town called Plainville, around 17,000 people in Connecticut, which is it's a state in the States. It's a state in the States. And,
one of the states of the United States.
Yes. So I'm the one from America. The group.
The one actually from America.
American. Yeah, the actual American, despite the other two gone to American international school.
Yeah. So, and how I got into NYU Shanghai, or like went to Shanghai, was I wanted to go to a good business school. I went on Google. I was like top 10 business schools in the States, and NYU Stern showed up, and I was okay, I'm gonna apply for that. And I did. And then on the Common App, in order to hit next, I had to choose a second like an NYU school, which at that time I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know there was an NYU Shanghai. I didn't know there was an NYU Abu Dhabi. I thought there was only NYU New York.
So, which a lot of people feel the same.
Yeah, I didn't know anything. I just clicked NYU Shanghai. Really not much thinking of it because it was just the second option. Abu Dhabi. If Abu Dhabi was the second option, I'm pretty sure I would have hit Abu Dhabi. But Shanghai was the second one.
Wow, so I just fate was decided.
Yeah. Click. And then bada bing, bada boom, March came, and it was like, hey, you got in. I actually had to do an interview around like February, which was kind of hinting to me like, oh, they're interested in me, and high percentage I'm gonna get into that school. Yeah, I had to interview around February. I got an interview. They're like, can we interview you? And I did the interview. They're like, oh, what do you think about China? Are you global something? And I was like, yeah, I'm free to like, I'm open-minded. I'm even though I'm from a small town, I'm open-minded. I think the interview really helped a lot. I think,
I feel my so SAT
scores are just average.
I think they actually interviewed me because they wanted to test my English skills. And the thing is,
okay. I remember I got interviewed by another school. Like the Hope Business School. But I didn't get interviewed by NYU. That's so weird.
Maybe your scores were really high. Sydney, you were just super smart.
Yes, that was just my highest, my like amazing shining time, Never matched up to it ever again in university, JK. Yeah. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. But I did write like the reason why I chose NYU Shanghai was because I had like family. I was like, I've always had like multicultural background. So maybe that was like already convinced them, because that's NYU Shanghai. We love diversity.
So what would you guys think about like the key, like the key words of like, if you want to like for somebody who never like got out of their country before, what would be the keywords or like characteristics they should have or be ready to be prepared to have? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Very good question. Yes. For me, I feel very personal about the word adaptability. Wow, I sound so professional. So yeah. Being adaptable, it's not as easy as it sounds. You hear it all the time, but it really like, it's not just like going into new country or whatever. It's also like in life, when you move to a different stage, like you have to adapt. Growing up, knowing that you have to make the orders yourself. You have to make the pizza order yourself. You have to do all of that yourself. You have to do laundry, all of that. And that's like being adaptable to that kind of lifestyle, that different life choice. So it's like, it's the same when you move to like a new country, to a new place. First, it's like very shocking, maybe like some experience you don't quite understand. But then you learn to like adapt to the ways. I mean, obviously you have to like ask questions if you're confused or anything, but that adaptable is like something I had to learn.
And I would say like on a side note that don't be like don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Like once, like what if a person be like adaptability? Well, I'm not sure I'm adaptable. Well, you're not gonna know until you try. Like if you are somebody who wants to go outside, but then you hear what Cindy was saying, don't let that keyword adaptability scare you. Just be like, okay, well, maybe I'm not adaptable right now in this present moment, but once I go out there and I see the world where I'm in that environment, I will become adaptable.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think
very good point there.
I get what you guys mean. And I think I do agree. But I think it's also this factor of being comfortable, or the thing is when you go out, like you're obviously gonna be really uncomfortable because it's just new things thrown at you. So obviously you're gonna be like squinting your eyes and be like, what the hell is that person doing? Or like, you won't understand. So obviously you'll be confused. Just being able to kind of like deal with that uncomfortableness, I think helps, because it's just at the end of the story, like everyone's just living their life and you just popped in and you just happen to see that. Like that's how people live their life for like a long time. So you just have to respect it. And yeah.
Cindy said adaptability. What was your keyword?
Oh, my keyword.
I was like,
I think being okay with uncomfortableness.
Oh, being okay with uncomfortableness. Various keywords. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like you're like
and you added a bit of like the confident.
Yeah. Mine's like willing to take up challenge or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure
that way our listeners can get the gist of when we blabble on. They're like, wait, what is the whole idea they're talking about?
Yeah, we're laughing a lot. So that's kind of okay.
Yeah, it's fun because we're talking about an experience we went through, right? And I think that also might be something that people can look forward to when they start a new challenge like this. It's like you look back on this and you laugh.
Yeah.
And you find, wow, like I actually took on this challenge and I overcame it. I did it.
Yeah.
At that time, it'd be like scary and stuff, but like turns out,
it's just like
not that bad.
For example, like I mean, just like the whole. I mean, it was like coming to Shanghai. Like I've never like actually like studied in Shanghai. I always came to visit once in a while with my family, but this was like the first
be far
time
away from your parents, right?
Far away, and then living on your own. You're not the dorms, and that was like I didn't know how to wash my clothes or even buy food. Like the first time for the first time ever. I realized like, oh my god, I cost money to live.
Yeah, I was like, the first time I used a washing machine, it was like, how much laundry detergent do you put in, like without your clothes actually smell like soap? I was like, oh, roommates.
Yeah, you're like looking at the labels like, okay. I think my batch is like probably that big, so it should be that.
I'm like, oh
so
my
you have
god.
to like interpret that, and then I think definitely the food. So it's like a very different. It's like your family's always with you, so I always took it for granted. Like the food that I had, like even fruits, I thought those were like free cheaps, but no, you have to pay for that.
Yeah.
So.
I know, what I still haven't actually gotten used to is like eating out by yourself.
I want to like backtrack and say the whole laundry thing, because I'm like how so like who does your laundry before college? Because I started doing laundry in 4th grade, so who did your laundry
so that's
before?
why I was trying to explain the whole thing, like everything was done in the family, and until you do it yourself, you're like, oh my god, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All these years.
So we were talking about how it's different, and yes, it's very different when you go out of the country. And for the listeners who don't know what NYU Shanghai is, or like want to get to know NYU Shanghai, what would be like, because we graduated, what would be our like takeaway? Like what would be our like whatchamacallit, like opinion about that school and like how, how is it?
You know what this sounds like? You know what this sounds like? It sounds like I was invited to a panel recently.
It does feel like one of those panels where it's like, so what about NYU? Like what attracts? And then this is not sponsored by NYU Shanghai.
Oh, yeah, no.
Still love that place though.
My dear listeners, it's fine. We're just sharing. Like it's a very small community. Yes. That's why like we're very, it's not like a lot of those big schools who have like a lot of students. NYU Shanghai, because especially like our class, we were like the first to have all like freshmen, sophomores, junior, and senior, as well as an alumni class. Because our schools actually, we're the first class to have all 5 before us, and then also like NYU Shanghai is a new school, so that's why like our community is like pretty tight knit. In some sense, and so like like Han mentioned as well as I did, like you get invited to these panels, interviews, because they remember, they're like, you're from South Africa, we just have like this African session for
I know. Oh my god, I was invited to the Middle East Africa one. I was
you got invited to
my people, not my people, but like yeah.
I would say like being in it, and I would say like being in a small like community gives you more opportunities, like it gives you more opportunities to like you take whereas like if you're in a bigger university, it's really hard to like stand out in like in a pond of many fishes.
Yeah,
completely agree.
What's it
actually called? Like even within our NYU ourselves, right? Like the NYU New York and NYU Shanghai is very different. As well as NYU Abu Dhabi.
You can't compare. Yeah.
So like,
and we got a chance because like for the listeners that don't know why we're like jumping all around, it's because like we like as like NYU Shanghai students, we get opportunity to like study abroad like for a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get to choose like the 23 other global campuses. So like that's why we all had the opportunity to experience what's it like to, in a bigger NYU New York. What's it like to, go to school there, and that's how we saw the difference.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
I forget. We also need to explain. It's good.
Okay, so anything adding about maybe like talk about going to college in China? I mean, we kind of dabbled on that, but do you think that's enough if I was listening?
I mean, yeah, just to add on to like the small community thing, like as a freshman entering NYU Shanghai, like I got to become a member of the executive student government right away, because basically there's not a lot of people, so you can get a leadership role very easily. And you learn so much because you're in that place and you have so many responsibilities. I think it's cool because I kind of got to know Shanghai through the school. So I kind of planned to, get used to the school, like know everyone, know faculties, and then reach out to the city. So that's how I kind of planned adjusting to a place. So like start where you're at and what like the small community you're a part of, and then like expand to the city and stuff. Yeah, that's what I did.
I feel like the school in the beginning like took care of the foreign students pretty well, like getting us adjusted. I mean, the banking system, getting your mobile phone, you were all guided by like an upperclassman. So like even if you are, and this is probably just our school, but if you go to other like international Shanghai schools, maybe you'll have a different experience. But in from our own experience going to NYU Shanghai specifically, I think freshman year during 2017, I think they took care of us pretty well in terms of just helping us adjust to the new environment and being in a new country, not being able to speak a language. But this is all like doable, you know, so it's like challenging, exciting. You'll meet new great people. So it's definitely not something to be scared of. So for anybody who is listening and who's like, oh yeah, I'm planning to like go to an international school and I'm like second guessing myself, I would say just go for it. Don't even second guess no more. Don't like sleep on it no more. Just do it, because you only live once, as cliche as it sounds, but like really, you know, if you're not gonna do it now, when are you ever gonna do it? So
I wanted to talk about, you know, when you actually go into a new country, like everyone's going to that new country. So like everyone is so close. Like you guys are gonna be so close with those friends. So you're not gonna be alone. Like that's totally one thing you should think or keep in mind.
Because everybody's gonna be in the same, you know, boat as you.
Exactly. Yeah. Not as bad as it sounds. Yeah.
Going international opens your eyes.
You change for the better, I think. I think it changed me for the better. That was my caption for my graduation post. I was thanking you guys for changing me for the better.
Oh, Cindy, remember to add an all side effect.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get down to some stuff that people don't talk about, which is the logistics. Just like maybe just a short your own memento or anecdote about the process of being international. People might worry about visa issues, or people might worry about money, and or like, you know, because just by us saying go international, go, okay, great, but like what is the actual, like, you know, just a few minutes on that, because I don't think people talk about it.
I can immediately say, like, you pointed exactly on like some of the things people forget to think about when they say international, which is like all the visa stuff. And like when you go international, you immediately realize like all the benefits you previously received as like your own, like, you know, part of your own country, and now you're like in a new foreign country. You realize like there's a lot of things that are a little bit more inconvenient, because our school had like half Chinese students and half international students. Like it was a 50-50. So there were some events where, you know, like you would see like the local Chinese, they could use their ID, you know, gain like some of the service immediately, whereas like a foreigner, you know, you have to go through an extra process. Being prepared for that, knowing that there are, you know, some process you have to undergo as an international. I think that's something that's
a lot of emailings back and forth with your coordinator. So be prepared for that. Go to your local bank and have some of that local currency. But we were fortunate that, like, you know, in China we use like WeChat, which is like a, you know, like an Apple Pay.
So convenient.
And get a travel card, like a travel credit card, you know, that your parents can give you just in case, you know, just in case if anything happens. Those are the basics that you should, you know, always. I feel like I have the story here. Tell the listeners what happened when you don't have it.
When you don't have it, you rely on your debit card. So you just rely on your parents to send you money.
And that takes time. So you might be broke for a while.
Yes. Oh my God. I remember borrowing money from you guys. Just be like, can I just order a meal? Asking Angela, can you WeChat me?
But we got you. That's what friends for.
Trust friends, yeah.
It's good.
I can add one more, which is like being comfortable that you are unique in your situation. I think for some, like at first for me especially, I was like, you know, I'm probably like everybody's facing this problem as well. So maybe, I mean, that might be true, but then again, like, you know, not everybody's from your specific city, whatever, you're with your like financial situation, with all your background. So like being comfortable to voice out your situation and ask for help is something as an international, like, you know, prepare yourself to be.
I think that kind of wraps up our little introduction, right?
Well, that wraps up our introduction, but we have one more point on our outline that we had to go through, which is
we had an outline
because remember we did an outline. Remember a couple days ago? It's called First Episode Draft Outline. Well, our last point on what we want to talk about. So going international. So the big question would be like going international. Do I need to speak the language? And then from my perspective, I would say, don't pressure yourself. Like if you're not really good at learning languages, don't let that deter you away from going international. I would say that try your best. Like learning the language will be a plus. You know, it's a plus to have it. It'll like it's this new skill that you're gonna add to yourself. But if you know, because some people might just language is not their thing. You know, they tried, but they just can't grasp it. Then don't let that burden you, you know? So like, oh, like, for example, you want to go to Spain all your life and you want to go to like a foreign exchange for high school or like a college thing, but you're like, oh my God, but my Spanish sucks. And I took Spanish in high school, but I just never really understand Spanish. I still can't go around it. Well, don't let that, you know, you can still go to Spain. Like it's very different. Now, once you're in that country, hey, maybe it was the environment that you're in, you know, but don't that present moment of you thinking, oh, I just suck at learning languages. Don't let that, you know, deter you away from actually trying to go to the country that you want to go.
Yeah. To. One thing to add on, actually, I totally agree with you on, yeah, don't let it pressure you, but you're gonna feel the inconveniency, definitely. And I don't know, people like studying in NYU Shanghai, you get to kind of see different types of people. And there are people who complain that you don't understand the language and like you complain about the inconveniency, but you don't do anything to, you know, overcome that. Like you don't put that much effort in studying the language and you chose to go there, you know? So there are people who just complain about, oh, it's very hard and it's very new. But the thing is, that's their culture and you're in their country. So also be respectful of that, I think, is another side of
definitely like having the right attitude when you're choosing to do to go abroad and to be to gain that international experience. And like, I mean, also like learning the language itself, I mean, yeah, it's also a plus, as well as like, you know, language is something that people use to communicate. So when you do learn their language, there's like, okay, there's a saying I like to remember. It's from like our president in South Africa, where it says like, he says, you know, learning to speak a language someone understands, like they would listen to it and they'll keep it in their mind. But if you speak their language, then it goes to their heart. So it's I love the quote. But yeah, it really is the case. Because like for a lot of the international students, those who just started learning Chinese, like the minute they actually grasp the language and they actually spoke with a local, like you can see sometimes the reaction is very positive. You see that the locals like, oh my God, you know how to speak my language.
Yeah.
And then you get another different experience and you have friendships or, you know, all of that. So yes, learning a language is hard, but at the same time, like you can get like an amazing experience from it too.
I think Cindy did a perfect job a perfect ending for our first episode of the podcast. You know, we hit all the points. Yay! So yay for us!
Yay!
Cindy did a great job ending it with a beautiful quote. And I think that's it for today. So hope you have a good morning or a good night wherever you are in the world.
Come back and join us on our next episode, Auditioning Your Best Self, next week. Interested?
Tune in.
Also, in case you were wondering why we call ourselves BananaCorn, feel free to check out our bio. We probably will have an episode on it, yeah?
Yep. So this is us, BananaCorn signing off. Bye.
Bye.